What is up, guys? It's the Cube File here, and welcome back to another video. And today I'm here with more F2L tricks to help you get faster. Such as this case right here. You see the red-green edges solved and the corners on the opposite side. Instead of doing a U2 and still having to do 3 sexy moves, what I like to do instead is R, U, wide R prime, U, wide R, U prime, wide R prime, U prime, M, and that solves this case. And faster, it looks something like this. The execution for this is pretty simple. You basically move this layer as usual with a U, then move your thumb a bit to bring down 2 layers. And then the rest is pretty self-explanatory. You do the U's the same, bring the wide layer up, and just continue like that. So nothing that fancy. Next, we're going to be looking at this case here, the orange-blue pair. You see the usual way to do this would be to do a U2, then insert the corner in this slot here, then move the edge one more time, and then do 2 sexy moves to insert it. However, how I like to do it when it's already on this side here is do a R prime. So you set it up like this case, then a U prime, R, U prime, R prime, U2, R2, U prime, R. And faster, it looks like this. The R2 and U2 at the end can be a bit confusing, so I'm going to go over that. So when it's held at the back like this, you bring it down with your right hand like that. Then you solve this case. This is a pretty basic case you should be knowing. So just do that pretty standard. Do a U2, like with your middle finger and index finger. And the R2 here, it's like you bring your wrist up kind of, but also move the cube down at the same time. So it's along the line something like that. Then move the slot in, and then just bring it back down. The third case we have is this orange and green pair here. How you usually do this is move the corner back, bring the edge here, and set it up like that. Then cube rotate and insert the pair just pretty simply like that. Of course, you want to prevent cube rotations as much as possible, so instead this was what I would do here. So R prime, F, R, wide F prime, F prime, L, F, wide F. The execution for this case is a little bit tricky at first, but I ended up getting used to it, and I'm sure you can too, because this is how I do it. So I start out doing a normal sledgehammer, the first 3 moves. Then when I do the wide F prime, I use my index finger, push it down like that. Then you just have to do 1 regrip. It's not even really a regrip, you just move your index finger up so it just touches the F, just F layer. Then you bring that layer down, and then this is pretty standard. Move the layer down, and then F, wide F. And so faster. Case number 4 is this one here, where the orange-blue pair, you see that what you would usually do is probably cube rotate, solve this pair individually, then just insert it in. But to prevent a cube rotation, you could do something on this algorithm right here. Wide R prime, U2, R2, U, R2, U, wide R. So to finger trick it, you want to regrip your hand kind of so your thumb is on the top layer to do a wide R prime. Then with your index and middle finger, U2. Then kind of flick your hand like that to do an R2. Use your index finger on your left hand to do a U. Reverse move your right hand to do another R2. Push with your right hand to do that U. Then just bring your wrist up to do a wide R. So faster, it's like this. Case number 5 we have is this orange and green pair here. How would you usually do it if you were facing this orientation is probably cube rotate, do a U2, and then solve this case. However, if you want to, again, prevent a cube rotation, like it's always optimal to do, you can do this algorithm. F, R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, F. And again, faster. The key part of this F2L trick is the execution, which is actually pretty easy, but very critical. So to do the F move, you want to do your index finger to do the F move. Then move your right wrist up with the R2. With this index finger here, you move the U. Reverse the wrist, right wrist with an R2. Then you do your U prime with your left hand. Bring back your right wrist with an R2, and then with your left hand index finger or your wrist, whatever, do an F prime. The sixth case here is this red and blue pair here. You see it's very similar to this case we went over earlier, except the attached same colored pieces are on the right side instead of the left. So in this algorithm, what people usually do is cube rotate, then they solve this case. But if you have it from this angle at the back, or you just want a better algorithm, you can do this way. You do it this way. R, U, R prime, inserting the corner into here. Sledgehammer, so R prime, F, R, F prime. And then obviously insert the pair, R, U prime, R prime. So faster it looks like this. The final case we're going to be going over in this video is this one here, this red-green pair. As you can see, it's already positioned in such a bad case. What you might be tempted to do is to take it out and solve it using another way, but if you have the case to the back, this is a much more efficient algorithm you can do. U, L, U prime, L, U, S prime, L prime, S. The S moves are the hardest part of the algorithm, and I'll be honest, even I haven't fully mastered this algorithm yet, but I know it's very popular, and a lot of other people can do it, so I'm going to show it in this video still. But anyways, for the finger tricking, the U is pretty self-explanatory, so is the L. Well, the L, you want to bring it down like that, and then do the U prime. You can drag it along with your, what's this, your middle finger of your left hand. Then L prime, U. So then you have that case. Then for the S prime, how I do it is your index finger, you bring the S slice down all the while with your right hand, keeping this front layer in place so you don't end up with something like that by accident. So S. Then when I bring the L back up, I just do it like that. Then when I do the S, this is the hardest part probably because I have to put my thumb back to hold this front piece steady and use my right index finger to push down like that. And so that's how I do it. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something from it and you found it beneficial. If any one of these tricks were able to help you improve in some way, be sure to like and subscribe down below, especially since we're going for 50 subscribers by the end of May. I decided to do that because that's something YouTubers do. They set milestones, so I decided why not 50 subscriber May. So if we can get there, that'll mean a lot to me. And so yeah, till next video, peace.